Hi, I'm Karan Thapar. Over the last few years, I hope you've been watching my program, The Interview on the Wire. During that period, I've interviewed doctors, politicians, businessmen, scientists, authors, and even the occasional Nobel laureate. For me, it's been exciting. I hope it's been enjoyable for you. But these, as you know, are tough times, and if this program is going to remain bold, independent, and sometimes even defiant, then I think we need your support. At the end of the day, it's a truism, but editorial independence is best defended by the viewers. So if you would like this program to remain the way it is, forthright, outspoken, and interesting, then would you consider supporting us? All you have to do is to click on the description at the bottom. But more than anything else, I hope you will continue to watch the interview. Your viewership means an awful lot to me. Hello and welcome to a special interview for The Wire. The Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity is one of the reportedly premier organizations and institutions of Manipur. Last week, its officials were in talks with members of the Intelligence Bureau in Delhi to try and find a solution to the crisis in Manipur. But at the same time, it's reported that the Assam Rifles have charged COCOMI with sedition. Joining me now to talk about COCOMI is its spokesperson, Athoba Khoraijam. Mr. Khoraijam, you are the spokesman of COCOMI. Yeah. Whilst in Manipur, COCOMI is well known, outside Manipur, people don't know an awful lot about your organization. So let me start by asking you, what sort of organization is yours and what is its purpose and intent?
In short, COCOMI is a conglomerate of various major civil society organizations of Manipur. And we represent not less than 70 other civil society organizations, including the Students Group, the Women Folks, the Mothers Organization, the Maira Paivi. So we represent all those organizations. And we worked for the totality or the territorial integrity of the state of Manipur.
Do you also represent the Kuki community?
Yes, in certain terms, we do represent not just Kuki, but every ethnic communities of the state, and we have been working on that line.
So are Kuki organizations affiliated to you?
At the very first instance, there were affiliations. But
now?
Now, after some time, they have withdrawn their affiliations because of their own interest.
So at the moment, you have no Kuki members, no Kuki affiliated?
No.
So then how do you represent them?
We represent in representing their interest, the purpose of the entire communities that are living and coexisting together. So that's how we represent.
You claim that you represent their interests, but you don't have Kuki membership.
Yeah, that's because we don't resist them from taking part in COCOMI, but it is their decision to not come in and join.
But at the moment, COCOMI is entirely comprised of Meitei organizations, Meitei people.
Yes.
Tell me, are you considered the premier organization representing Meitei interests and Meitei welfare today? I know you claim to be a Manipuri organization, but given that you don't have COCOMI membership and only Meitei membership, I'm asking the question in Meitei terms. Are you the premier organization representing Meitei interests, Meitei welfare?
No, not exclusively. See, let me explain in that part. If you say you represent the whole country, and if your organizations don't have members from Punjab, members from South India, Tamil Nadu, then will it still say that you are not a national interest representing the nation? It's not like that. Representations means how do we float our agenda, how do we work, what is our philosophy, what is our idea.
Are the Nagas members of your organization? That's 24% of Manipur's population. Do you have Naga affiliated institutions?
We worked with the Naga people.
But you don't have them as affiliated members?
I myself work for the Naga's cause.
But do you have Naga groups and institutions that are part of COCOMI?
Yeah, there are certain groups.
Such as? Can you name them?
Such as the Kabui, the Kabui Union. Kabui is one of the major Naga ethnic communities.
So you're saying one of the Naga communities is affiliated to COCOMI?
No, we also have other organizations like the one I have, the Mao Imphal Market Coordination Committee, there are the Mao people, the president of Mao Union. I am the convener. The Mao Union is the chairman. We work together. So it's in a different, aspect.
But
and different
I'm just asking for clarity.
Yeah, yeah.
Naga groups are part of COCOMI.
Certain groups are part of COCOMI, and we coordinate with the United Naga Councils in certain agendas as well.
So your relationship with the Nagas is a closer and better one than the one with the Kukis.
No.
But you have no Kuki members.
Yeah, but it's the same. We also, see, before this 3rd May incident, we had a meeting with the Kuki in Manipur, the president and everyone in our office, and we even set a meeting.
Post 3rd May?
The meeting was supposed to be on 6th of May, but this sudden, eruption of the 3rd May incident has, some broken the meeting.
Post 3rd May,
Yeah.
you continue to have some contact with some Naga institutions, not all, but some, as you said, but you have no contact with any Kuki institution.
We had.
Which one?
We had the Kuki INPI.
You still have contact with the Kuki INPI today?
Not today, but on the 1st and 2nd week of May.
Okay, but after the 2nd
Even
week
the Kuki Students Organization?
After the 2nd week of May?
No, there is no further communication.
Tell me, do you have any relationship with Maite organizations like Arambai Tengol and Maite Lipon?
No.
None at all?
No.
How do you view Arambai Tengol and Maite Lipon?
We are yet to ascertain, because there are only allegations, but we are yet to ascertain who are Arambai Tengols, who are the leaders, where do they have their office. We have no idea on that. But we only come to know through Facebook posts that there is one page called Arambai Tengol, and they even after the, I think, 1st or 2nd week of May, they again declaration of, there is a declaration of dissolving their organizations again, and then coming out again. So we really don't know.
I'm saying this from memory, but let me tell you some of the things I know about Arambai Tengol, and separately some things I know about Maite Lipon.
Yeah.
Arambai Tengol have put out tweets talking about how they have access to Manipuri police rifles. They've talked in tweets about how they were told by their chief minister to raise the villages, and now they've been told not to raise them. Those are on tweets which are available to anyone to see. Separately, Pramod Singh, who's the head of Maite Lipon, said to me in this studio, sitting where you are, that he has been giving gun training to people who have guns already. He says that in fact, the Kuki will be wiped out. There will be a civil war in a particular 15-mile zone. He said in his Facebook that the Kuki should be annihilated. He said that 5 days before the troubles began on the 20th of April. So how then, in the light of this, does your organization view Arambai Tengol and Maite Lipon?
No, that's their view. I don't know, because Maite, say, in a way, Maite is not a community. In the first place, Maite is a nation. You should understand. Maite has its own different philosophy. Maite represents different background, different philosophy, different religious practices. So there are other groups, and as you have just mentioned, the Arambai Tengol and the Maite Lipon that you just mentioned, COCOMI has no coordination, no communication, nothing at all.
So you don't support people like Pramod Singh, who said on their Facebook, "Let us annihilate."
No.
You don't?
That's not the case, yeah.
You don't support people from Arambai Tengol who claim that they have been told by Biren Singh to raise villages?
No, that's yet to be ascertained. You are just floating up some...
I'm quoting their tweets.
Whatever, but we really don't know. That's not an official
what you're
statement.
saying to me is you're distancing yourself from them.
Yeah.
You
We have
don't
nothing to do. We are also an organization. We work in our own line of objective and purpose. They must have their own agenda. So there is no connection at all.
Let me then sum up this bit of the interview for the audience. You are an organization that claims to represent all of Manipur, not just the Maite.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, since the middle of May, you don't have any Kuki affiliation any longer, but you do have some affiliation with some Naga outfits.
Yeah.
Right? And secondly, you distance yourself from the things that Arambai Tengol and Maite Lipon has said. You don't share those positions about annihilating or raising villages.
No.
That's a clear no.
Yeah, no.
Okay, let's then come to another subject. The Indian Express on the 27th of this month reported that on Wednesday and perhaps on Thursday, representatives of your organization COCOMI, and I'm quoting now, had a round of talks with an Intelligence Bureau official representing the center. Can you confirm those talks were held?
No, we don't have any official meeting.
Did you have an unofficial meeting?
No,
You had no meeting at all?
no.
So what are you doing in Delhi at the moment?
We were here for a national press conference, coordinating with the Meitei people, trying to console them on this issue. And we are also meeting some of the political leaders.
You know, it's very
we're doing
interesting. You should say you've had no meeting with the Intelligence Bureau. The Home Minister has gone on record to say that he's had 6 rounds of meetings with Meitei organizations and separately 6 rounds of meetings with Kuki organizations.
Yeah, maybe other parts, but not with COCOMI in this, as you mentioned on 27th.
So when the Home Minister says that he's had 6 rounds of meetings with Meitei organizations, he calls them Meitei, COCOMI is not one of them.
Not in recent times, when we are in Delhi.
When you say not in recent times, when did you last speak to the Home Minister?
When he was in Imphal.
That was right at the end of May.
Yeah.
So since the end of May, COCOMI has had no talks with anyone in government
No.
at any level.
There was one guy from the IB, and he invited us for a tea because he was there in
So
Imphal.
you are now confirming that there was a guy from IB who invited you for tea.
No. See, he works in IB, but we were talking on a personal matter. He was
When was
inviting
this?
me for the tea.
When was this?
I think 2 days ago, 3 days
So
ago.
2 days ago, someone from IB invited you for tea.
Yeah.
And what did you talk about?
He is a familiar person. He was in Imphal for quite some time.
Well, what did you
during
talk
this
to him
issue.
about? He sounds like the ideal sort of IB person to start talks. What did you talk
No,
about?
that's not about the issue. We didn't discuss much on issue.
But you
no.
do confirm that you were invited to tea by an IB official.
Yeah, but not on official capacity.
Where did you meet him?
We meet here in Delhi.
In his office?
No,
Then?
in a place, his place, somewhere, I don't know. I forgot the location. Somewhere.
His residence or some secret place?
Yeah, it's kind of a residence kind of.
Or was it a secret house?
No. We have no idea on that because he's a non-familiar. He's a non-familiar person because he was
Hang
in
on a
Imphal.
second. A person you don't know, you're not familiar with, invited
He's
you
a
to tea.
familiar. I mean, he's a KNOWN, known person. He was in Imphal. He even speaks Manipuri. He was there for quite some time.
He sounds like the ideal person from IB to start talks.
No, because we didn't discuss anything. Because there isn't any official.
You didn't discuss or you won't admit you discussed?
No, it's not like that. Because
You're sure?
I am not in the capacity to initiate a talk because
You
I
are the
have-
spokesman of COCOMI.
Yeah, but I didn't come with an official mandate.
But I'm not saying that you held the talks. Did your seniors in COCOMI hold talks?
No, nobody. I don't have any information. on that.
Absolutely.
No.
Don't have information or you don't?
No, because we have to have the information. I am part of the executives.
Is it possible that talks were held without your knowing?
No. That's impossible.
Let me ask you 2 different questions. Does COCOMI support the Meitei demand for scheduled tribe status?
No, it's not about support or not support. It's more about why the scheduled tribe demand has been flouted.
But why we know? The key question
me
is,
why-
should
why-
it be
why is it
granted?
that? If you know, just
So tell me, should it be granted? That's the key issue I'm asking you. Should it be granted?
no, that's up to the government's.
But you must have a position on it.
No, we don't have we have no opinion as of now on scheduled tribe.
So COCOMI has no position, no opinion on the scheduled tribe demand.
Yeah.
You neither support it nor oppose it.
Yeah.
You're absolutely clear.
Yeah,
Yes.
we don't even discuss on scheduled tribes in COCOMI's level.
But the point you're saying is you don't support it, you don't oppose it either.
We don't even discuss on this matter in the table of COCOMI. It's very
What about
clear.
the Kuki demand supported by all 10 Kuki MLAs and also now by Kuki Impi that they want a separate administration? And now Kuki Impi has made it clear that by separate administration they mean a separate state. I imagine as a Manipuri organization you're opposed to that because it would involve the breakup of Manipur.
Yeah.
But are there any grounds on which you could agree to it?
No ground.
At all, ever?
No.
You will never think of any possibility that you could agree to a separate administration.
Yeah, even heaven falls, it's impossible.
Even if heaven falls,
Yeah,
it's impossible.
impossible.
Suppose the Home Ministry, Mr. Shah, were to come and say to you, the trouble in Manipur has gone on for too long. The government has failed to quieten and restore peace and order. The army and the paramilitary are not succeeding either. The only way to do it is to grant the Kukis separate administration, a separate union territory. What would you say?
The Home Minister cannot decide everything on Manipur. Manipur has its own position. Manipur has its own history. Manipur has its own conditions. So he cannot decide everything on Manipur.
Well, just a moment. In 2019, this government decided everything about Kashmir on its own, and it did it by surprise, and the Kashmiri people were not consulted. The same thing could happen to you if the government feels that there is no other way of restoring peace and harmony. That's why I asked the question.
Yeah, for that they have to try and take a chance. We will also take the same chance to respond it in the right way.
But you're saying to me that under no circumstances can you accept separate administration.
Yeah.
Okay. The Hindu newspaper has reported
Yeah.
that Assam Rifles filed an FIR against COCOMI and specifically against Jitendra Ningongpa, if that's how you pronounce his name, the convener of COCOMI. And you have been accused of sedition, of promoting enmity between different groups on grounds of religion and race, and also of defamation. As spokesman of COCOMI, how do you respond to this FIR?
Firstly, they have to prove that allegations, number one, that we are having that kind of religious issues and citing enmities between the groups and communities. They have to prove it. And I think Assam Rifles is one of the key organizations who are directly or indirectly responsible in this current situation, turmoil situation in Manipur.
When you say responsible, what are you saying?
Because they have committed so many faults.
Faults?
Yeah.
Such as?
Such as when they initiated the 2005 ceasefire with the Kuki militants, there wasn't any official information to the state government. When they formalized it on 2008, since then, they have been working in coordination with the Kuki militant narco-terrorist groups who are actively engaging in all sort of drug trafficking, poppy cultivations, bringing in of illegal immigrants, and they are responsible for taking care of the international boundary.
I just want to make clear, I've understood you correctly. You're saying from 2005 and particularly from 2008, the Assam Rifles have been siding with what you call Kuki narco-terrorists.
Yes.
Let's leave the Kuki narco-terrorist side out because people dispute whether that's an accurate or even fair description.
Which people are you talking about? Which people are you talking about?
The Kuki themselves, for a start.
Then
right?
why do you tell something? We are telling, COCOMI is telling that.
And officially, the government of India also doesn't accept the word terrorist as a description of Kukis. So let's leave that out.
You cannot do that.
I'm talking about Assam Rifles. You're accusing the Assam Rifles of taking sides.
Yeah.
You mean that?
Yeah.
According to the Hindu, on the 10th of July, COCOMI, and I'm quoting, gave a call to people not to surrender weapons. Is that right? Did you give such a call?
No, we didn't say that.
What did you say?
What we said is the circumstances has made the people not let surrender their weapons.
Sounds like the same thing to me.
No, because we are conveying the situation. We are not, we are not making a call. We are conveying the situation.
What you're saying is the following. We didn't ask people not to surrender weapons. We explained why they're not surrendering.
Exactly.
You're sure?
Yeah, that's what Assam Rifles misquoted. Because they are desperate now. Because there are so many allegations on Assam Rifles. The Home Minister has been briefed on that. The Home Minister himself assured us that some of the Assam Rifles
When
will
did
be
the
removed.
Home Minister give you this assurance?
When he was in Imphal.
But this charge is 10th of July. 40 days after he left Imphal.
Yes, because they are desperate now because we have certain inputs.
You sure this wasn't something the Home Minister said to you 2 days ago?
Yeah, we have certain inputs.
Or did the IB guy who invited you for tea say?
No, it's not related. We don't discuss on that matter.
The Hindu also reports that COCOMI has alleged that a large number of women protesters were assaulted by the Indian Army in the Moirang area of Bishnupur on June the 30th. The army has denied the allegation. How confident are you of this accusation?
We have video evidence
of the army molesting.
Not molesting. They are beating the protesters and manhandling.
What community did the protesters come from?
Meitei.
So you have videos of the army.
Local TV channels has all reported. National media avoided that news.
Which is why I'm asking you, because unfortunately we don't have access to local media that operates in Manipur.
National medias were there, but they avoid the news.
But you're saying that you have videos.
Local media already reported.
These are videos from the 30th of June
Yeah.
of the army assaulting and beating up
Yeah.
women protesters
Yes.
in Moirang of
Yes.
Bishnupur.
Yes.
This proof is there with you.
Local media has already reported.
But you have the videos.
It's in the local media's library.
When you
We
go
watch
back-
the news.
When you go back to Imphal, I believe you're returning on Monday.
Yeah.
Can you send those videos to us?
Sure.
That's a promise?
Yeah, sure.
Again, according to the Hindu, and I'm quoting, in a memorandum to the Home Minister on June 4th, COCOMI demanded that the Assam Rifles be replaced with any other central armed police force. Can you explain why do you want the Assam Rifles replaced? I've got a hint of it already, but can you explain this specifically?
Assam Rifles failed to perform their duties properly. Assam Rifles is responsible for the Indo-Myanmar border management. And all this issue of illegal immigrants are because of their lacked incapacity to control the international borders. And Assam Rifles is also responsible for all this drug trafficking. Drugs worth, you will be surprised, over the past 5 years, since 2017 till today, the state has already seized and arrested drugs worth 7,880 crore worth.
How do you know this?
It's report from the Narcotic Affairs Bureau's Manipur Police Department.
And you're alleging that the Assam Rifles is involved in this?
Not involved, but they failed to, control and seize this trafficking of drugs from across the border over the past
Why
10,
would they
20
fail to
years.
do something? It's so obviously their job, and it's so obviously wrong if they don't do it. Why would they fail to do it?
You should ask Assam Rifles.
But you're the one who's bringing up the charge, no one else.
We are coming up with the facts, the incidents. We have recovered recently when there was a cabinet subcommittee for the detection of illegal immigrants. It was headed by one of the Kuki minister, Mr. Lepao Haukip, and it comes out that 2,187 illegal immigrants were being settled inside the Manipur territory, and Assam Rifles must be knowing that because they are in charge of the whole area. Wait, let me finish. Then what happened? They have also been allowed to build up proper cottages and houses despite the government's assurance for a shelter home for those illegal immigrants or the refugees. And there is also a camp for the PDF in New Gamphazol area.
So you're
Assam Rifle knows all this information.
making two critical charges in this interview against the Assam Rifles. First, earlier you said they are deliberately siding with the Kuki people, and now you're saying they are turning a blind eye to illegal immigration, they're turning a blind eye to narco-terrorism and the smuggling of drugs. You're saying three things against them.
They might not turn blind eye, but they fail to perform. So we want replacement.
Well, surely failure to perform means they've turned a blind eye.
No, they might not be able to do that.
When you say might not be able to do that, you mean they're incapable of doing
They
it?
are not doing because the situation is proving they are not doing.
Let me point out something at this moment that should have become apparent to the audience. When I first asked you if you represented just the Meitei or Manipur as a whole, you said Manipur as a whole. You said that you represent even the Kukis, right? You said that you have or did have prior to May the 3rd affiliations with them. Now, you've been referring to the Kuki community with terms like narco-terrorists. You've been accusing the Kuki community of allowing illegal immigrants into Manipur and allowing them to settle there. If that is your attitude to the Kuki community, how can you claim you represent them?
How do you conclude that?
From what you said?
No. How do you conclude that we blame the whole Kuki communities? How do you conclude? On what pretext? Just
No,
bring me out.
from the way you spoke.
What
Your
do you mean by the
language is
way?
what I'm using against
What language I am using?
You call them narco-terrorists.
I call narco-terrorist. not the whole Kuki.
Let me point out something to you. Most people who have written knowledgeably about the drug trade in Manipur say that it is quite possible that some opium plantations or fields are being run by Kukis. The drug lords are Meitei. It's being done jointly by both, but the drug lords, the people who are in charge, are Meitei. Yet you're only pointing the finger at the Kukis.
They should come out with the facts. No doubt, certain Meitei people are also involved. Arrests have also been made.
But you know, the key point I'm
let
making
me come to this.
is how not.
Let me complete.
The key point I'm making is this. You can't really claim to represent the Kukis when none of them are any longer affiliated to you, but that we've talked about. More importantly, you can't claim to represent them when you seem to refer to them as narco-terrorists, as people who give protection to illegal immigrants, who've actually been allowing them to build houses in Manipur. That attitude
You don't
suggests
understand.
prejudice.
I think you are missing the context of the law of the land. You are violating the law of the country.
What is the law of the country that's being violated?
How could you let immigrants?
There
do,
is
do,
a-
do you have any
Has it
distinction between the foreigners and the citizen?
Mr. Khurajam,
Do you miss that? No,
that
let
in
me complete.
1970,
You keep jumping
10
on.
million Bangladeshi people, they were East Pakistani at the time, came across the border and were given shelter because there was a problem in East Pakistan. There is a major problem in Burma. Some 40 to 45,000 Chin refugees from Burma have sought shelter in Mizoram. Right? They haven't come there because they want to come there, but they're fleeing from the lack of safety in their country. Similarly, 2,000 perhaps, or maybe 4 by some counts, have come to Manipur because they're fleeing. They're not illegal immigrants, they're refugees from insecurity and violence in their country.
Can I explain?
Of course.
Those immigrants who went to Mizoram, they don't demand for a separate administration. They don't demand for a Kuki homeland. They don't talk about bifurcating the state of Mizoram. But those immigrants who have arrived in Manipur since 1960s, they are now floating for a separate Kuki homeland. They are distorting the history of Manipur. They are, concocting new ideas. They are generating, rewriting new histories. They are trying to distort the entire Manipur civilization.
Mr. Khurajam,
They don't show any allegiance to the state of Manipur and its idea. That's the difference you should understand.
I won't dispute what you're saying because I'll use it instead to disprove what you claimed earlier, that you'd represent all Manipuris, including Kukis. Now you're saying that people who are Kuki and have been in Manipur from the 1960s, right, are in fact illegal immigrants. From the 1960s, you just said it.
See, there are also Kukis who have come in from 1840s.
How can you represent the Kukis if this is the attitude
I'm
of the
telling you.
COCOMI spokesman?
It should be very clear. It should be based on facts. I cannot simply have a very sweet tongue with a very bitter heart.
Sir, the one
let me
thing
come
no
up,
one
please.
would
No, let me complete
is a
this.
sweet tongue.
Let me
You
complete
don't have a sweet tongue.
my position. Let me
Go
complete.
ahead.
If you don't let me,
Go
then
ahead, go ahead,
there's
go
no
ahead.
point. Number one, you should understand there are 3 types of Kuki migrations that happen in Manipur. The first settlement was in the 1840s. Second comes where from 1960s they have been given refugee status and let them settle.
Can I interrupt?
No, let me complete first.
I have to interrupt for one reason. The first lot of Kukis who settled in Manipur were actually invited by your Raja because he wanted a protection against the Burmese. That's there. They were deliberately brought in by the Maharaja and settled as a protection and a buffer between Manipur, the state that he ruled, and the Burmese because of the invasions from the Burmese.
So what happened? That's correct. Okay, in a sense.
So that's not illegal immigration.
Who told Karan, let me complete.
Yeah,
you are
go ahead.
concluding to so many things without even, it's being half cooked. You are concluding when it's even half cooked. Come on. The 1840s Kuki, they have been naturalized by the ruler, as you just said. They are called native Kuki, no doubt. They are Khongzai, not Kuki, to be precise. They are known as Khongzai in Manipur. In 1960s, many of the other, similar communities arrived in Manipur because of the military junta, all those things. They have been given the refugee status and they been allowed to settle in Manipur as refugees. Got my point? The third phase is after 2005, the Assam Rifles signing ceasefire with the militant groups and the enhancement of further bringing in of illegal immigrants. So now what happens? The first native, the settlers, the Kuki or the Khongzai, generally which are majority of them are Wi-Fi, they have no dissent, no issue with the,
And the others do.
And the others do.
Okay.
They failed to prove their allegiance. They started demanding for a
Mr.
Kuki
Khurajam,
homeland. So that's the issue.
I will not dispute the facts of what you're
And
saying.
let me complete.
I will not dispute the facts. I'm not saying they're correct. I just don't know that bit of Kuki history. I did know, by the way, that the first Kuki people who were brought in by the Maharaja were brought there.
They were naturalized, no issue. We don't
What I
have any
will
issue with
do
that.
is point out once again for a second time that this attitude to the Kukis makes it very hard to believe that COCOMI can actually represent them. increasingly as I hear you speak, you sound like a Meitei organization claiming to be an all Manipuri one, but you sound very much like a voice of the Meitei, not a voice of the whole state. But let's leave and come to my last issue. It's a charge or an allegation made in an interview to me on Thursday by the General Secretary of the Kuki People's Alliance, Wilson Lamal Hangshing. It's a party that has 2 MLAs in the Manipuri Assembly. It's a party that was an ally of Biren Singh until the beginning of May, when they broke their relationship. In an interview to me on Thursday, he said that at Khamanlok, on the 13th and 14th of June, when Meitei and Kuki combatants clashed, Mr. Hangsheng estimates that 200 Meitei were killed and perhaps 300 injured. Given that this has been said by a responsible leading Manipuri politician who was an ally of Biren Singh until the start of May, how do you respond to this claim?
Before coming to that, when you said that he's a responsible, what do you say? Manipuri representing Manipur.
Well, his party has 2 MLAs in the assembly.
Kuki People's Alliance, they don't think beyond Kuki. They are fixed to Kuki. They are communal party. They are communal organization. They have communal mindsets. That is the issue. If they have to live in Manipur, they should think broadly, the way we do. We always think about the totality of the state. And regarding his claims about that, I think lies of Kukis has become the new truth. That is the most upset part. They have been spreading lies after lies.
This is a lie.
This is a lie. I have sets of lies which I can bring out to you with all the facts. I will show you after this interview.
It's only right and proper.
I will show you after this interview.
It's only right and proper that
one lie, one big lie.
You should respond.
Okay, that's lie. One more bigger lie I will prove to you now. You must be aware they have written a letter to various international forums, and even the European Parliament has concluded that when in the debate they resolved that the current violence that happens in Manipur is of the Hindu majority Meitei targeting the...
I'm aware of a letter written by COCOMI.
Yeah,
to the European Parliament. I will come to that in a moment's time.
No, we wrote that in clarification. Even in India also, you must also be aware that in the second phase of their propaganda, didn't they say that Christians are being targeted by the Hindu majority? Please say yes or no.
Not to me.
Please say...
They didn't say it to me.
Don't you follow the news?
They didn't
Don't
say
you follow the propaganda?
No.
No, you should come in truthfully. Come on, just say.
Hang on a second. I will be honest with you. I have been told repeatedly, both by Kukis and by Meitei, that although attempts have been made to give the troubles in Manipur a religious color, this is not a religious conflict. It is essentially
Any Kuki said
that?
Name one Kuki who said that to you. Name one Kuki.
I'll name one, certainly.
Yeah, please.
Mr. Haukip.
Who?
Pawanlal Haukip. He's a BJP
Pawanlal Haukip said that it is not against the Christians by the Hindu majority.
He didn't say that. Listen to me carefully.
No, please answer.
Listen to me carefully before you distort what I'm saying. He and many others said that whilst it is acquiring a religious color, sometimes by Hindutva elements, it is not primarily a religious dispute. It is not primarily Hindu versus Christian. It is primarily ethnic, Kuki versus Meitei. He said that and several others said that. And listen carefully. He didn't say it's not entirely of religious overtones. It's acquiring that deliberately. And Mr. Iralu, speaking to me from Nagaland, was even clearer.
Let's come to the Kuki people's propaganda here in nationwide protest when they say that even the national papers, many of the national papers covered that is Christians being targeted by the majority Meitei Hindu. You cannot run away from that propaganda spread by the Kukis.
Hang on a second. I will quote what your...
Let's not run away.
Hang on a second. I will quote what your organization wrote to the European Parliament about...
No, that's a clarification.
No, hang on a second. In that clarification, you went on to say...
I will prove that.
Hang on a moment.
Let me prove that, Karan.
Let me finish talking before you start proving something. In that letter that you wrote to the European Parliament's president about a week or 10 days ago, you said the Meitei Christians, not Hindus, Meitei Christians had been ethnically cleansed. Those were your words, ethnically cleansed in Chura Chandpur, Kangpokpi district and Saikul. Yeah. That is what you accuse them. That's not Hindu versus Christian. That's Kuki Christians you're accusing of killing Meitei Christians. It's very different to what you're saying here.
We were writing to the European Parliament to clarify that their conclusion, their resolutions, that they resolve to state that the current violence in Manipur is being, in a way that the Kuki minority Christians, tribal Christians, are being targeted by the Meitei majority
But that's
Hindu.
not Hindu versus Christian then, is it? It's Christian versus Christian.
No, they said Meitei majority Hindus targeting the minority tribal Christians. Come to the, please, come on. After that, when they said that, all across the nations will know. When you telecast this interview, people will know how you said, how I said. Let me conclude.
The Archbishop, hang on, the Archbishop
yes, I'm coming
of
to that.
Dominic Lumon, and he's Naga. He's not Kuki. The Archbishop of Imphal has gone on record to the Indian Express. I think it was the 18th of June. He claims 249 churches in the valley have been demolished. And he added he believes this was done deliberately because most people wouldn't know they were churches. But it's not a Kuki who made that charge. It's the Archbishop of Imphal and his Naga, Dominic Lumon. He made the charge. It was in the papers.
Don't you listen to the other narratives? The Meitei Christians and the Tangkhul Christians came to Delhi, had a press conference in the Constitution Club, and they clarify it's not on the Christian. Rather, the Christian churches in Churachandpur was destroyed by the Kuki Christians. Let's come to the fact. They already clarified it's not on the...
Let's talk about that allegation.
Those valley churches are of the Meiteis.
It was made by the Meitei Churches Christian Council.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the report was put together apparently by two young men, one of whom is called Samuel. Father Babu Varghese said to me in an interview that he'd met Samuel's father, and Samuel's father had said this is a false narrative, i.e. the father of one of the authors went on record, which Babu Varghese told me to say it's false. However, the same Mr. Varghese did confirm that at least 4 Meitei churches were destroyed in the hills. He confirmed that. It was separately confirmed to me by Professor Himon Sangjam.
So don't conclude that.
I'm not concluding that. So
conclude that Christians. But coming to the point.
At this point.
Day before yesterday.
Day
before yesterday. I'm coming on the lies.
We can't go on about every lie.
No. One last point. Day before yesterday, the Archbishop of Maharashtra, Mumbai, Mr. Cardinal Oswan, clearly states that this is not between Christians and the Hindu. It is rather between ethnic.
But that's exactly what I've been saying.
No, you are just...
I've been saying the same thing to you.
See,
hang on, let's not, Mr. Thoy,
the nations,
Mr. Thoy,
the Kuki propagandists... See, let me conclude. The Kuki propagandists and the national media has been covering for quite some time, during the whole month of May and the whole month of June, that the Christians, minority tribal Christians being targeted by Meitei Hindu, which is completely false. No. Those were the lies selling by those people, including that Mr. Hansing.
Get it off your chest.
That is one example of the lie.
I will let you get it off your chest, because it's only fair that if it's something that rankles so deeply, you should say it. Happily say it. Now, let's come back to what I asked, because I think it's important that you should respond. How do you respond to the claim made by Mr. Hansing, who's the General Secretary of the Kuki People's Alliance? He has 2 MLAs in the Assembly. Till May, he was supporting Biren Singh. How do you respond to his claim that an estimated 200 Meitei were killed and 300 perhaps injured when the Khamen Lock battle, as I'm calling it, happened on the 13th and 14th of June? How do you respond to that?
That is also another blatant lie. And they are so convenient in spreading lies to the nations. And because of that, they will never achieve their, vested political interest, number one. Number two, every death count on the side of the Meitei volunteers or everyone, it's been transparent. They have been, received from the morgue. There is a procession. There is a rituals which is compulsory to be performed by the, families. And every single death has been performed in that way. So there is no question of hiding that. But on the other side, we don't have any account till that. No media have ever reported how many people died. There are several crossfires and exchanges, but there is no report of any death from the other side.
Give me an idea.
They are performing an empty coffin rally. Empty.
Tell me something.
It's a shock. Don't you see anything on this?
Since you raised this, how many Kuki do you think have been killed?
I have no idea. There isn't any report.
You're suggesting that, in fact,
there isn't any reports. The only count that we know is the state's release of death counts, which are in the morgue and other places. That's it.
There's something else that I want to put to you. The Khamen Lock village chiefs That's the area where the battle happened on the 13th and 14th of June. The Khamenlok village chiefs issued a statement on the 16th of June. This is what it says. The attack and assault on the Kuki villages was directly supervised and commanded by Chief Minister Biren Singh, Minister Bishwajit Singh and Laisamba Sanajoba, the Rajya Sabha MP. That same point was also corroborated by Mr. Hangsheng. How do you respond to that?
They are all same group of people, belongs to the drug syndicate and the narco-terrorist group. So they have same line of agenda, same line of propaganda.
The chiefs belong to the drug syndicate.
They all must belong. They all have the same statement.
Mr. Hangsheng also?
Yeah. And the thing is, their charges...
You're saying Mr. Hangsheng belongs to a drug syndicate?
Definitely.
And you're saying that the Khamenlok village chiefs belong to that?
Definitely. Because they are putting forth the same line of argument, same statements. And the very allegations that they are making, it's wild. They have to come and prove it out. We have no idea on that.
My last question. There is a growing body of opinion in the country and maybe even within the BJP, although the BJP doesn't say it openly, that Biren Singh has failed to handle the crisis even though 87, 88 days have gone by, maybe 90. Has the time come to replace Biren Singh in the interest of solving the problem?
As per my knowledge, I think the charge of home has been already replaced by one of the appointment from the center, Mr. Kuldip Singh.
Well, he's in charge of the Unified High Command. He's head of the Unified High Command. But
not just a security advisor, he controls everything.
But Biren Singh remains chief minister, and one reason why
he must be taking care of other administrative affairs, but rather the important security measures are completely controlled by Kuldip Singh. We have been frequently, communicating and meeting with him. We know the level of controlling.
So you're saying most critical powers have already been taken away from Biren Singh?
Yeah, right from the first day Kuldip Singh was appointed.
So Biren Singh is a sort of hollow puppet?
What do you mean by hollow puppet?
Powerless.
He's taking care of other administrative affairs, as I told you.
But not security.
Not security.
Which is the main concern at the moment.
That has been already described by I think the center has already.
So is there a need to remove him?
No, removing him or not, it's up to the center. For
obviously,
us,
I'm asking
we have a democratic elected popular government, and we believe, and we have to trust on that rather than trusting on some sort of, the president.
But what is the official position of COCOMI? You're the spokesman. Should Biren Singh be retained or should he be removed?
He should retain.
Retain?
Yeah. Not Biren Singh, state government should retain.
I take it then on the question of President's rule, your answer is there's no need for that.
No, president rules won't work in Manipur because we already had a very, bitter president rules experience in the past. The 2001 where the whole assembly was torched down. It's because of the president rule. Even today, the security personnel deployed in Manipur are finding difficulties. You know why? Because they don't know the terrain, they don't know the geography, they don't understand the history.
So president's rule is the wrong thing?
No, it's not.
So the final position is, it is wrong to demand the resignation of Biren Singh?
I don't think so. Yeah, for now.
Mr. Khorajam, thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Karan Thapar. Over the last few years, I hope you've been watching my program, The Interview on the Wire. During that period, I've interviewed doctors, politicians, businessmen, scientists, authors, and even the occasional Nobel laureate. For me, it's been exciting. I hope it's been enjoyable for you. But these, as you know, are tough times. And if this program is going to remain bold, independent, and sometimes even defiant, then I think we need your support. At the end of the day, it's a truism, but editorial independence is best defended by the viewers. So if you would like this program to remain the way it is, forthright, outspoken, and interesting, then would you consider supporting us? All you have to do is to click on the description at the bottom. But more than anything else, I hope you will continue to watch The Interview. Your viewership means an awful lot to me.